What is cord blood banking? Welcome to the Hypno-Baby channel. I'm Dr. Natalie Fizet. I'm a retired family doctor who delivered 3,700 babies. This is your channel, so don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, and be amazed. Of course, there's a big medical disclaimer. This channel is for entertainment only. You use it at your own risk. I am a doctor, but I'm not your doctor. Hi, I'm going to talk about cord blood banking. I'll say it. There's going to be a lot of videos because it's a vast subject and you need to get the whole information, which I don't pretend to have. So, but I'll give you the right time of the day, and it's not going to be, because you have to be aware there's a lot of publicity, and it's even been called life insurance, and you have to know that it's not all black or all white. So what is the blood cord? It's the blood that is left in the cord and in the placenta once the baby is born. This blood is collected and it is full of stem cells, which are undifferentiated cells, which contain everything that is in the blood. So white cells, red cells, and plasma. And they are undifferentiated, they're baby cells. So they have the potential, theoretically, to almost grow an arm. So they're really good cells. The problem is you don't have that much volume. I've seen babies that are born with a small cord. I've seen long cords that were doing loops, and so that's different. They have to be collected within a minute of the baby's birth, because the cord still pulses, and I always had my patient and her partner touch the cord, and I was saying you're touching life, and they could feel like they were just holding the cord in their finger, and they could feel the pulsation. And so then the doctor collects the blood and the blood from the cord or the placenta, and sometimes they also have blood, cord, and tissue. So we snip a little piece of the cord to go with that. So that's for further testings and everything. Then there's two ways that these could be collected. There's public banks, just like when you go and give blood, and you say, I'm doing my good deed. They don't identify the bag. So if you have a car accident and you say, oh, I donated blood yesterday, just give me back my bag, it's not identified. So you give it just like a donation and it's gone. You cannot take it back because they don't even know, and that's one way not to get it. And there's private banks, and this is where we're gonna talk more in the next videos. And so these cost money, good money, honestly. There's a initiation fee because they have to give you a package where I'm going to show you what's in the package and how it's delivered to you. And they have to have a courier once the blood is taken by your doctor. Like I've collected a lot of private cord blood, also public. So and then you have the initial fee, which is in the thousands of dollars, and then you have to pay for every year to keep it frozen. Sometimes they have lifetime packages and stuff, but you have to know that even if and they say life insurance to it's good for you if they almost say if you love your baby and blah blah blah. But honestly, if your baby had, and that's their example sometimes, if your baby had a metabolic disease, there's 80 metabolic disease that they list sometimes in the pamphlet. And I'm just giving you the right time of day here, because you might end up, and if you're stinking rich, or if you have a lot of money and you're buying shoes that are $1,000 or whatever, wasteful stuff, in my opinion, or handbags at $1,000, yes, do the private bank. You never know if you could use it. But what they say, the first misinformation is they say is it could protect your baby, it's life insurance. Most of the time, if your baby has a metabolic disease, they find out a couple of months your baby's not striving or stuff. I don't want to be negative, I'm just telling you how it is. Those stem cells have the same genetic code, so they cannot be used to treat your baby, okay? Except for aplastic anemia, that's the only exception. Same thing if your baby developed leukemia or cancer, they would not use your baby's stem cells because it could have that code of developing into cancer. So that's the first thing on the pamphlet. You're going to go, wow, my God, that's an insurance, but it's not. One thing it can do is if you have another sibling that's sick, then your baby does not have those metabolic, well, they tested, but could not have those metabolic disease, and then it could save a sibling's life. Just thinking that, oh, my baby could save my life, there's not enough cell in the collection to treat an adult, okay? I've seen though, and research, that's the thing too, if you like science fiction movies, they're doing so much research, and stem cells are like potential cells. So if you say, well, Natalie, can you guarantee that in 20 years things won't change? I can guarantee they will have changed. And I know that now they have accelerators, so they can duplicate the cells. They have things that they had add to the stem cells that makes them grow, and now they can treat adults with baby stem cells. So we don't know the future, and like there's talks about Alzheimer's disease being treated with stem cells and all that stuff. So if you do a private bank, I'm going to put link in the description to get all the information. If you do a private bank, it's yours. It has your name on it, well, your baby's name on it, and as a family or as the person who paid for it, you have access to it for your family. Nobody can have access to it. If you do a public donation, and like there's the biggest bank is in New York, and we had one in Canada, we have one in Canada as well, then you give it and you cannot retrace it and you cannot have access to it. So that's the big difference between private and public cord blood banking. I'll stop here, but on the next video I'll talk more about cord blood banking. I'll have to practice and give you all the information, but beware if you see pamphlets saying it can treat, it can save your baby. If your baby has the disease, they take into account that most probably the disease is in those cells, and the first thing is all the pediatrician I've talked to, the hemato-oncologist, the cancer pediatrician or the metabolic pediatrician, said we don't use the baby's own cells because most probably it has the same problems, the same metabolic code, or it could have the same code of being cancerous. So that's the big thing. As I said, if you have a lot of money, okay, just, yes, use it. You'll be glad if anything happens, if that really rare instance where you need it. But if you say, okay, I've got enough money to either pay for college or stem cells, right now, at this point in life, okay, the odds of your child going to college are, I don't know, 1 out of 2, and the odds of using your baby's stem cells, like I said, if it's either or, okay, it's one or the other, using the stem cells is, they say, between 1 in 500 to 1 in 200,000. So I would go for the college, okay. I paid for my 4 kids' college, just to give you, like, and when it happens, it's not 1 in 200,000, it's 1 on 1. So if ever you need those cells, you'll say, well, Natalie said this and that, but always take the best decision for you. I'll see you in the next video. I'll talk more about blood cord and stem cells, what we know so far, because it's a big developing, it's a market, let's say that. So if you have the money, yes, and you have to, it's not something you decide when you give birth or after. Once the baby is born, the cord closes a couple of minutes after the birth. So you have to plan and you have to contact and get your information and get the right information, not the nice pamphlet that says, life insurance. It's not an insurance. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye-bye.